first component up here is the blue section, which corresponds with the incoming signal to the board. The first button up here at the top is our phantom power, which we usually use with our condenser mics and our podium microphones. The second button here is the phase button, which we usually use when we have microphones in close proximity to each other, mainly when we are miking a drum set. This first knob here is the gain or trim. This knob can be used to affect the strength of the signal of the microphone. The final knob here is the high pass filter, which is used to cut out the lows in sounds. We use it with speakers that have low booming voices or may tap on the podium or move microphones. In order for the high pass filter to apply to your channel, you must select the high pass filter button at the bottom of this section. The green section here is our gate and our compressor. The gate is rarely used. However, to make it apply to the channel you're working with, you must have the gate button here at the bottom selected. The compressor we have used on an occasion. Again, you must have the compressor button here at the bottom selected. And then you can choose how fast the compressor attacks, how fast it releases, how strong the signal is, and how much of effect it has on your sound. What the compressor does is it will cut down on the sound when it gets to a certain volume in order to keep from maybe a singer from singing too high and causing feedback. Alright, our red section here is our EQ section. Again, you do have to have the red button here at the bottom selected. However, we have a preset on this board where we have it selected for each channel already. In order to get a graphical view of the EQ, down here on the touchscreen on the bottom right corner, hit EQ, and this will show you the actual frequencies that you are taking in and out when working with the EQ settings. On our EQ settings here on the board, we have control over our high frequencies, our high mid frequencies, our low mid frequencies, and our low frequencies. Basically, when you're wanting to take out the high sounds, you will take out the high frequencies, and when you're wanting to take out the mid sounds, you can pull them out, or the lows. The second row of knobs here is our frequency. So when you make changes to the first knob, you are taking out a certain frequency within that range. So when we're working with the highs, whatever frequency we have selected with the second knob is what frequency we will be pulling in and out. Then when you look over here at the screen, you can see when I pull that frequency in and out. And then when I change what frequency I am actually working with, you can see that change as well. And that corresponds with our high, mids, and lows. The third section here is the Q, which applies to our high mids and low mids. What the Q does is changes the width of the frequency that we are working with. Our final section here, the yellow section, is our out signal. The first knob here is our delay, so we can decide how fast the sound moves from the speakers, corresponding with how fast the sound moves from the person speaking to the people sitting in the audience. The second knob is our pan, which we can pan left or right with our speakers here in the room. The pan is our third and final knob that corresponds with the knobs above each channel strip and the buttons to the right. And then here at the bottom we have a left-right button and a mono button. These buttons must be selected for each channel in order for the sound to be sent out through the left-right mains and the mono. If this button is not selected, you will not be hearing any of the sound in the house sound. It must be selected to be sending the signal out of the board.